Fifth grade into math lesson 12.1 part 2 on your own. Number 4, STEM. Gold is a rare element. Its properties make it a valuable natural resource. The soft metal is used to make items such as coins and jewelry. Gold conducts electricity and often is used in the manufacturing of electronics. The largest gold nugget found with a metal detector weighs 960 ounces. If the value of gold is about $20,000 for 1 pound, what is the value of the nugget? So we have 960 ounces, $20,000 for 1 pound of gold. What is the value? So first of all, we are going to go from ounces to pounds. Okay, is that smaller to larger or larger to smaller? Smaller to larger. So we are going to divide. Okay, then our measurements. So how many ounces are in a pound? So 16 ounces equal 1 pound. So you're going to take 960 divided by what? 16, right? Okay. So how many times is 16 going to 96? 6. Let's try it. So 6 times 6 is 36. So put the 6, mentally carry the 3. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 3 is 9. And then we have nothing left over. Bring down the 0. How many times is 16 going to 0? 0. Okay. So we would get what? 16 pounds, which it says for every pound you get $20,000. So what is 6 times 2? 12. And then we have 1 0 with the 60. And then how many zeros do we have with 20,000? 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we come back here and put in our comment. So they can get about what? $1,200,000 for it. Okay. Number 5. Construct argument. Will a 24-gallon tank hold 200 pints of water? Explain. Okay. So this is where we go back to our gallon G, right? Okay. First of all, so we want to convert 24 gallons into pints, right? So if I'm going from gallons to pints, am I going smaller to larger or larger to smaller? Larger to smaller. So I'm going to multiply this time, right? Okay. 1 gallon. So look at your gallon G. Equals how many pints?
1 gallon.
Is it 4 pints? 8, right? Because there's 2 P's in each quart. So that would be 8 pints. So what am I going to do? 24 times 8. So 8 times 4 is? So 32. Put the 2, carry the 3. 8 times 2 is? Plus 3 is? 19. So 24 gallons is equal to 192 gallons. So would that hold 200 pints? You have 192 and then you have 200 and you're going to pour that 200 pints into the 192 pints container. Is it going to hold it? No. So no, because 24 gallons equals 192 pints. So the tank would not be large enough. Okay, so we're getting ready to do and show quite a bit of work. If you don't feel that you have enough room on your paper to show all that work, then you can go get a piece of no-fill paper and maybe draw it into squares. So then each square has a space, okay? But like I said, if you don't feel that you have enough room here, actually I don't feel that you have enough room here. So Please go get a piece of notebook paper and divide it into squares. All right, so we're doing number 6, so in one of your boxes, fit number 6. I want to go from inches to feet. Am I going larger to smaller or smaller to larger? Smaller to larger. So I'm going to divide. Okay. 1 foot equals how many inches? 12 inches. So 126 divided by 12. How many times does 12 go into 12? 1 minus 12. Bring down the 6. Can 12 go into 6? No, so 0. 12 times 0 is 0, and we're left over with 6. So our answer would be 10 feet, 6 inches, right? Okay, here we go on to number 7. I am going from fluid ounces to cups. So, am I going smaller to larger or larger to smaller? Smaller to larger. So I'm going to divide, right? So 1 cup equals how many ounces? 8. So 8 ounces. So I'm going to take 20 divided by 8. 20 goes into 8 how many times? Twice. Minus 16. With 4 left over. So my answer is 2 cups and 4 ounces. Now, if we needed to, we can also make that a fraction, right? Okay, but in this case, they didn't ask for a fraction. All right, so we have ounces to quarts. Is that smaller to larger or larger to smaller? So this is number 8, and then smaller to larger. So we're going to divide. Okay, 1 quart equals how many ounces? So look at your gallon key. So how many quarts, or how many cups are in a gallon? Or sorry, how many cups? So how many little C's are there in a quart? There's 4, right? Okay, and then how many ounces are in a cup? 8. So 8 times 4 is 32. So 32 ounces. Okay, so then I'm going to take 160 divided by 32. Okay, and we can round 32 to about what? 30. So how many times is 30 or 3 going into 16? 5. So let's put a 5 and try and work it out. So 5 times 2 is 10. Put the 0, mentally carry the 1. 5 times 3 is plus 1 is. So do we have anything left over? So our answer is 5 quarts. Okay, we're going to go from quarts to gallons. So is that smaller to larger or larger to smaller? Smaller to larger because they're smaller unit. Smaller to larger equals division, right? Okay, so 1 gallon equals how many quarts? 4. There's 4 Q's, right? So 4 quarts. So 72 divided by 4. How many times does 4 go into 7? 1 minus 4. So 3, bring down the 2. So 32 divided by 4 is 8 minus 32. Nothing left over. So our answer is 18 gallons. Okay. Number 10. We are going from ounces to pounds. So we're going smaller units to larger units or larger to smaller units? Smaller to larger. So we're going to divide. Okay. 1 pound equals how many ounces? Equals 16 ounces. So 1/4 divided by 16 We can round 16 to about what? 15, or on that other problem, we knew that 16 went into 96 6 times, so can we try that? Okay, so 6 times, we said 96, so what are we left over with? 8, right? And in this case, they do not give us 2 blanks, so we need to now make this a fraction. So it would become 6 and 8 16th, which is also equal to 6 and 1/2. So 6.5 pounds, right? Okay. Next one, number 11. We are going from pounds to tons. Okay, so is that a smaller unit to a larger or a larger to a smaller unit? Smaller to larger. So we're going to divide. Okay, 1 ton equals how many pounds? 2,000 pounds. Okay, so then 42,000 or 4,200 divided by 2,000. So basically what I can do is I have 2 zeros here, so I can mark off 2 zeros here. So we're really going to take 42 divided by 20. How many times does 20 go into 42? 2 times minus 40 gets us 2 left over. And once again, they don't have 2 spots, right? Okay, so it becomes 2 and 2/20, which becomes 2 and 1/10. Okay, number 12. I'm going to come over here. So we want to go from feet to yards. So are we going a smaller unit to a larger unit or a larger unit to a smaller unit? Smaller to larger. So we're going to divide. Okay. So 1 yard equals how many feet? Equals 3 feet. So 23 divided by 3. How many times does 3 go into 23 without going over? 6. No, 7. So 7 times 3 is 21. 2 left over. They gave us 2 blanks this time, right? So we can write 7 yards and 2 feet. Okay. Number 13. We are going from inches to yards. So is that a smaller unit to a larger unit or a larger unit to a smaller unit? Smaller to larger. So we're going to divide. Okay. So then 1 yard equals how many inches? 36 inches. So I'm going to take 132 divided by 36. So how many times do you think 36 can go in there without going over? Let's try 3. Okay. So 3 times 6 is 18. So put the 8, mentally carry the 1. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. So we're going to subtract. So this becomes a 12. This becomes a 2. So we're left over with 24. So if I go ahead and write that, I would have 3 and 24, 36. Is that simplified? No. So that would equal, what goes into both 24 and 36? Well, 2, because they're even numbers, but is 12? 12 is our largest one that can go into it. So 3 and 2/3, right? All right, so we will continue on with 14, 15, and the joke done, and then you guys will be able to mark off page 300. But let's go ahead and do number 14. An elephant at the zoo weighs 4.5 tons. How many pounds does the elephant weigh? So 4.5 tons. Then I want to go from pounds, or John